Welcome to My Counselor Online. I'm Josh Spurlock, and in this video, we are talking about overcoming fatigue as a barrier to a healthy sex life, right? So that you as a woman can enjoy a healthier, better sexual drive, sexual desire, and connection with your spouse in your relationship. So fatigue is a real player. Like, it impacts your sexual response in your body and your desire to a much greater degree than it does a man. That men's sexual desire is much more resilient against fatigue. A lot of men, majority of men, can be nearly dead, right? They can be dead to the world, exhausted, end of the day, wiped out. And if their wife is like, I'm kind of horny, do you think you would be, up to it? They're, new life births into them and they're ready to go. And they're like, oh, I could rise to the occasion, could do that. But it's not that way for female sexuality. That if you are fatigued, if you are just wiped, if you're wasted, then your body is literally not going to respond sexually. And it's not going to become aroused. And if your body's not arousing, then you're not going to enjoy connecting sexually. And if you don't enjoy connecting sexually, you're not going to want to connect sexually. And so it kills that desire. So fatigue is a serious issue, a serious inhibitor to a healthy sexual relationship. And you don't have an infinite supply of energy. You just don't. You don't have the ability to do everything. In fact, there's more things to do in each day than there is time to do it in, which oftentimes leaves when feeling like failures, that they can't check all the boxes, can't do all the work stuff, all the be a good friend, be there as a mom, let alone be there as a wife as well to their husband. And so it just feels like they're losing on all fronts and are chronically exhausted. And one of the issues that contributes to this is one of boundaries and being able to say no, because we don't want to disappoint people. We want folks to be happy with us. And there's so many good things that are out there for us to do, whether it be activities for the kids or things that our church is wanting us to be engaged in, or for friends, and just then the life busyness of work responsibilities and projects and home, managing things on that front, that navigating those relationship dynamics and being able to set boundaries and say no to some things can be really tough. But every yes that we say is a no to something else. That every yes, every commitment that we give to, every project we take on, everything we decide to do, say yes to, matter-of-factly necessitates saying no to what we otherwise could use that time for. So we really got to think about our time and our energy as a finite thing, as a gas tank, that if we're doing good self-care, which we'll talk about in a minute, you start each day with a full tank, ready to go. But at the end of the day, when it's on E, it's gone. It's empty. There's no more to give out. And so we have to steward that emotional and physical resource that we have during the course of the day and be intentional about how we're going to expend it. And if we're going to have a healthy sexual relationship with our spouse, we have to be intentional about earmarking some of that energy to connect with our spouse. Because if we spend it, if we burn it through the course of the day, there's just not going to be any left. There's just no way around that. Doesn't matter how much we want to be there, we're going to be toast, and there's not going to be anything left in the tank to share with our spouse at the end of the day. So we have to be very intentional about managing that so that there's some left in the tank. But for there to be any in the tank to begin with, we have to practice good self-care, right? Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is about taking care of the most valuable resource that God has given you. That's your body, yourself, both physically as well as spiritually, emotionally, so that you are able to be at your best. You're able to have that full tank so that you're able to give to the people that God has placed in your life for you to do so. You can't give what you don't have. If you're not feeding your body well, if you're not getting good exercise, if you're not having good Sabbath rest, where you're recreating and have play as a part of your life, if you're not engaging in the meaningful relationships that give life to you and fill into you, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not starting the day with a full tank to begin with. And you're starting on a quarter tank and you got all day to go. And the chances there being anything left for your spouse or for you guys to share together in a mutually enjoyable way is slim to none. And so one of the problems, or one of the things that we troubleshoot when I'm working with someone in fatigue, is one of the barriers to them having a healthy sexual life, is we look at the self-care piece and say, how can we cultivate a lifestyle of good, healthy self-care that enables us to be able to show up well as mom, as employee, as friend, as wife, to be able to do the things that God has given us to do that well, feel good about that, feel good about your body, and to be able to enjoy life to the fullest as God's designed it. So we go into it in greater detail in the article, Overcoming Fatigue, Better Sex for Women, at MyCounselor.Online. You can check it out at MyCounselor.Online. There's also some other articles and videos there. If you'd like to stay connected with us, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, sign up for our weekly email letter that goes out that'll keep you up to date on the resources that we're putting out. If you want to connect with a counselor to help you troubleshoot this further, you can do that at MyCounselor.Online. So looking forward to hearing from you, and for you to be able to dive into some of these resources and have them be useful to you. Till next time, be blessed and keep loving life.